Okay, so welcome to another exploration into consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. And today we are talking about breath, chat and breathe with Alfredo. He's gonna helm it, and we'll take it from there. So over to Alfredo.
Thank you, Martina.
You're welcome.
I've been building up momentum this presentation, and through this momentum that I'm building up, this it's brought up a lot of stuff, because I've realized over the past few months, maybe even years, I've seen how my journey has gone to its ups and downs, and then ups and then ups, and then like super downs, and then it's like, I'm okay with being down here, but over the months and years, I just realized like I'm not okay with being down here anymore. Like I played in this realm long enough. It's like it's time for me to raise my baseline frequency to a much more optimal level, because I'm tired of settling for the mediocrity that I've been, dwindling in for a while. And then I thought, it's like, well, what am I going to talk about, And over the weeks, in my mind, I'm just like, well, talk about this, talk about that, talk about all these things, and before you know it, self-defeating programs kick in. It's like, I'm gonna tell Martina I'm canceling. I'm not gonna do this because I'm too stressed out. It's too much pressure. But it's like, man, all the pressure is just the pressure I put upon myself. That's the main pressure I noticed. Because I'm like, man, no one is putting a gun in my head telling me like, Fredo, you better do your spiritual hygiene. You better do all these things. It's like, man, it's just me. So over the weeks that I was building up to this point, it's just me like releasing the pressure I put upon myself, like truly figuring out what it is I want to do. Like, what does Alfredo want to do? Because a lot of times I go through the this, got to do that. It's like, no, man, what do I truly want to do? Jen said it a few weeks ago. It's like these things I have to do, responsibilities, like being a dad, all these things, and then things I want to do, the things that bring the life force within and let me flourish and make me feel alive, I have this coworker, he spends all his time just getting experiences. He's just, he's not even into spiritual hygiene. He's not into spirit. I mean, he's kind of into spirituality. He's like, yeah, I did a meditation retreat in Mexico, and then like, but then he comes back and he's, doing drugs, going downtown, partying hardcore. But he's like always, I'm not saying go do that, but like just to see like, just someone just urging for experience, to have an experience. It's like, I need to have new experiences, So I'm going to step up and, bring what I do every day to the public, because like I need to step up a little bit more. And I know, I've been going through my ups and downs or whatever, but I have a supportive community here. And a lot about all these things, like I say, it's like, man, Alfredo, what do you truly want to do? Who are you trying to be? You're trying to entertain people? You're trying to do this, do that? It's like, at the end of the day, man, I just want to see someone to talk to, I need people to talk to. That's it. It's just like the basis of a lot of stuff, because I can take stuff in my mind all day, but like it's connecting with others, connecting with the community, with people around you. It's important, So I didn't want to get too caught up on all these things or whatever, but for the most part, I just wanted to talk about breathing, the most basic fundamental practice of breath. So I've been going through this journey, and I discovered the DMT breath with Wim Hof, and I was able to do breathing really, intensely. I was, but then I learned through Nira, through Soma breathing. Breathe in, activate the sympathetic. Breathe out to activate the parasympathetic. And at the time, those years ago, I was just so caught up in getting high on oxygen. Got to breathe in. It's all about the oxygen. But I was learning through this process. I like the way Niraj describes it, because he goes into the mechanics of it. Wim Hof gave me some valuable teaching, but he goes into the mechanics like Andrew does, the mechanics of spirituality, the mechanics of all this stuff. The breathing in is the oxygen, the holds and the exhales, carbon dioxide, and then I never heard about this. The humming, the breathing into the nose, the humming, it creates nitrous oxide. All these three elements, they blend together and they harmonize the body, they harmonize the mind, the heart, all this stuff. I'm not going to go into the science of it because it's way too much, but you know, it taught me how to correct my breathing because I haven't been breathing efficiently. And I noticed that because after doing Wim Hof breathing so much and breathing intensely, I was tiring myself out to the point where it's just like, I don't even have energy to do this process anymore. Screw this process. I'm just tiring myself out with breathing. But it's energy efficiency, becoming very efficient with your breath. It's not so much about the, you know, getting high on oxygen. It's about harmonizing the body, you know. I noticed that with my breath retentions, like sometimes I go 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. Sometimes I go, it's like, oh, I'm only going 30 seconds. What the hell is this? I'm only going 1 minute. It's like the breath retention will tell you how relaxed you are, like what kind of state of being you're in. And, you know, if I get all upset because I'm not getting massive breath, it's not about the breath retentions. It's not about, I mean, that plays a part, but it's like, it's about the relaxation, the harmony brings to your life, to your everyday life. That's the most important, crucial part of breathing, to connect with your body, to connect with your soul, connect with everything that is you, you know? And it's just a lot of things I've learned over the years. I've learned quite a bit, but it's those things, it's just a foundational thing that stuck with me to this point of this moment of now, you know? And I know I got obsessed with visualizing for a while, and I was like, I gotta drop that because I made some decisions and it put me in a situation where like I don't have the time to invest in the spiritual practices like I had. And I gathered a lot of stuff from all these great practices. I learned from these great people. And breath is the one thing I can do anywhere, everywhere. It doesn't matter. Coming to work, coming home, with the kids, whatever, just do it anywhere, everywhere. And I want to bring that to the public, bring that to the people. I need to bring this into action because I can entertain this stuff in my mind and do these by myself. But I feel like it's something very beneficial to just share with the community because I get obsessed with creating big things. I was like, I want to do big things. But at the same time, I got to take care of my health. I got to take care of get myself together and go back to the basics because there's no basics. The basics is the foundation. You build a foundation strong, you can progress forward. I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I've done enough of this advanced stuff. It's like, I want to go back to the basics, clearing out my gut. I'm going to get back into fasting and colonics. And I got real a day or two ago because my juicer broke on me. I was like, damn it, I was going to super juice and it intense juices and it's power. I still got a lot of power with me, a lot of light, but just having an alkaline gut, a nice, clean, clear gut. I always remember those states of being when I was younger, because when I had that optimized gut, that's where everything was just more vibrant. My baseline was way up here, and every day it's like boom, boom, boom. I'm just like super plugged in, super tapped in, and I'm gonna bring that back. I'm ordered I think it's called the NAMA J2. It's like the next revolutionary juicer, because when it comes to health, to me, there's no price you could put on health. State of health, your state of well-being, it's the perceived world. And David said it very nicely, like, a lot of people are just carrying around all this shit. It's because they have so much tension in their body, their guts are dirty. It's clearly because all the stuff they're carrying around with them, it's about clearing all this stuff. Getting your massages. I do my own budget combined therapy for now. Hopefully they come over to Texas. I'll get a damn combined healing, but for now, just do my own. But it's about clearing your gut out, taking care of your body, doing all these things. And that's going to be my next, what is it? That's going to be my next goal, just, rebuilding the self. So,
Yes.
I might open it up. I want to be ranting, go ahead.
Excuse me, Alfredo. I don't know if because you are outside. It's kind some moments it's kind of hard to hear clearly what you're saying. I don't know if it's me or somebody else got the same problem. I guess
I can hear it breaking up too on my end.
Okay. Yeah, it's like breaking for a few seconds.
Yeah, you keep breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you can change your position a little bit. So. But is there anyone who, in the meantime, is there anyone who wants to say something to what Alfredo has been saying?
Yes, because I mean the breath, as I mentioned in the messenger group, is that I'm doing the breath instructor course by Michael Bika or Bika or however you want to call him, and he actually. I also did a yoga retreat with him already last year, so I know him in a sense of from his yoga and from his breathing, and he's more into the slow breathing. And why is that? Is that because he says that it's not because he says, it's just that, yes, do some strong breathing to open up, to, to have your oxygenization level, to also get your muscles working, get a feel how your diaphragm is actually working, get a feel of all these muscles, build up a little bit your strength. But then for him, the most important is the slow breathing. Just slow it all down. He says, when you're constantly on this high through the strong breathing, because of the full oxygenation that you're taking in, you're actually just losing the ground. You're not grounding. You're high up. You are out there all the time. And that is it's not good, as we all know. You need to come down. You need to bring it down again. So do a combination of strong, but then take more time to actually come and relax and go down. And it's funny because I was hooked up through the Kundalini that I did years ago, this strong breathing. And yes, it was wonderful. I never had these DMT high, whatever things going on. I think I'm spacing only out on cocaine, let's say. Oh, I'm joking. But it's yeah, so for me it was more like, really strong breathing. It's wonderful, it's excellent because it's opening up so much. But in a sense, it's only now through the breath course that it's dropping more and more for me, that it's this slowing down, it's going within, it's this, very subtle breathing. And then Michael always says, it's all good, with a really nice Dutch accent. It's all good. All good, you see. So you're slowing down immediately with him, and it all makes sense. And yes, he also goes in all the physicalities of breathing and for what it's good and what it's not good. And I get you, Alfredo, on the whole Wim Hof thing. And but it's in the end, as with everything, try to balance it out. Not balance it so that you're in equilibrium, because then you're not moving. It's like, just try to find what you need. Sometimes you need to raise your vibrations, but then also just take the time again to bring them down. So I found that, for me, really compelling and very interesting. So, and it's such an easiest thing. It's more easy also approaching people with the fact that just breathing, just sit down, take a breath, notice, get all your tension, get it out, just breathe out and then breathe in again slowly. And it's all good.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because it's like, the more I breathe, the more I realize you got to breathe accordingly to the moment, the situation. Because sometimes I'll be trying to follow meditations for like a minute or two. They're like, screw this meditation. This isn't what I need right now. I'm just like, I always think I go to the meditation, listen to it. It's like, nah, man, like right now I need fast breathing. I'm about to cold plunge, taking huge breaths. Woo. Or like I'm about to go run, I'm taking steady breaths. Or, the energies are so dense and heavy and I'm feeling so tight, and like, it's like, I can't even breathe. That's when I got to just like slow and steady breaths. Just keep breathing, just breathe accordingly to the moment. And the moment's always going to change. It's never going to, the moment's never set in stone. It's always changing. So it's always important, I feel like, to just breathe according to what you need, because yeah, the moment's always change. So just like all these things, it's like, no, man, I gotta say what needs to be said in the moment. The moment's always different. So just breathe accordingly, and also breathing at your own pace, because yeah, breathe at your own pace. That's one of the biggest things I've had to learn and relearn, because you don't want to push yourself. That's counterintuitive to the whole breathing to relax process, you know. But that's it.
I think what you said about just going at your own pace is really important. You know, one of the things I've noticed, especially this past month, is the collective energies are really, really intense and strong. And it's very easy to sort of like get
Yes.
swept up in that wave of the global, you know, the global energy, the global narrative. And you know, we're all masters here, you know, but I notice when I'm getting affected, I know it's really strong, right? And then just returning to my breath, right? And being able to ground, being able to just be present in my body, remembering, you know, I know how to do this, right? And just it's a matter of just doing it, right? Taking the time, making the time to do it. Yeah. And I think that buzzing breath, the branbury, the bumblebee breath, right, really brings you, you know, into that when you're doing that sort of like deep breathing and then you're breathing out with that buzzing, brings you more, I don't know, like down into your body in a way.
Thanks.
Doc-
Can you do an example, Tanya? Because I've never heard of that buzzing breath. I'm also open to.
It's like the humming, really.
Mm.
Interesting.
Humming, or where your lips are vibrating together, right? It's sort of like a
Oh,
yoga.
okay.
It's like a yoga thing.
Let's do it all together for a little bit. So we're inhaling it
Mm.
normally and then buzzing it out.
Yeah, you can either, I'm sorry, you can either use the buzzing through your throat, or
Mhm.
you can use it through your nose. So if you're using it through your nose, you're actually opening up your portal. If you're using it through I mean, you're always opening up a portal, but the one when you're doing it through the nose, when you're concentrating more on the nose, you're opening up the pineal portal. And if you're doing it through the throat humming, so you might start to actually cough because, you know, it's your throat is then you harmonizing the whole body. So it's just like choose whatever you want. So yeah,
Should we do a
that's all
couple?
take 3 times usually.
3 times. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And go.
I love that. I'm pretty sure that buzzing is like similar to the to me it's the you make this it's part of the Soma teaching, but you put your tongue at the back of your teeth and you raise it up pointing at your third eye, and then you just hum. Supposed to open up the third eye portal. It's part of the
Yeah,
process.
there's a book
But
about
yeah,
that.
it'll produce nitrous oxide.
There's
ahead.
a book about that, Alfredo. There's a lady that in collaboration, and her husband, they had a book that how they explain about the exercise. Very interesting. Yeah, and then they recommend don't do that while you're driving because you can fall asleep very fast.
It's like when you do this humming one, it almost feels like, especially when you come down and you pull the navel back towards the spine, and you really it's almost like you're massaging your vagus nerve all the way down into the bladder almost, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
like chanting the Om sound when you say
It's that.
You get
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 sounds out of it because you start with the
Yes.
It's called a humming effect.
Ilana, you wanted to say something?
I wanted to ask Alfredo a question. So
Oh,
Alfredo,
yeah.
you've been doing all this breathing exercises for a long time now. Now, in a just as a simple answer, the question I have for the listeners, what is your main purpose for breathing? That's number one. And what does it actually do for you, Alfredo?
That's an awesome question. I love it. I was thinking about you and Ask Me Anything, Alfredo AMA. Yeah, no, so breathing, yeah, it's just so much. It means so much to me. It means the world to me. It's everything for me. I make it a big deal because that's where that's where I find myself. That's where I get my deepest connections when I'm breathing. You know, some people got Lucia lights just chilling behind them. They could just tap in and, you know, transverse the multiverse. For me, breathing is that thing, you know. It's self-empowering, it's invigorating. It brings me to my center, to a feeling that I can feel within my entire body that emanates outwards. And I feel this like deep connection to myself, deep in everything. And it helps my body relax because I'm able to release tension within my muscles. It helps me get in a flow state. It helps me think more clearly. It clears my mind. It's a defrag for my mind. It's it gets me ready for all sorts of all sorts of activities, you know. It's running, sex, whatever. Just breathing is this ultimate. You know, people could take drugs, whatever, but for me, breathing is that drug. You know, and you can create it yourself. You don't got to be like, oh, give me the DMT, give me the psilocybin. Just breathe. You can create these things within you.
And it's free, Alfredo. You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, it's free. Right. So it's free. Do it anywhere, everywhere.
You can meter that part, right? So,
yep.
Do you find that if you have like a physical ailment, it's like you have pain somewhere or something like that, do you find that when you breathe that physical ailment disappears?
It'll assist me in moving some energy and at least getting some relief to that area. Because I've been thinking about some of this stuff. It's like there's no magic pill that cures everything. You know, you still got to do the work, but to me, it brings relief to whatever. Like maybe a lot of times my neck and my shoulders are super tight. There's like this tension I pick up through my day, you know. And with breathing, I can just put my hands. I'll go into this little technique and share it, but I'll put my hands on my neck and my shoulders and just do the rhythmic breathing, and eventually it just eases out, relaxes, releases, and then before you know, I get like this deep, you know, euphoric feeling flushing through my body, tingling sensations, releases, and I feel very at peace. So it definitely helps with that. And a tip, go on a tangent here for a second, because I feel like it's a useful tool for a lot of people. It's something I learned from Linda Good McGillis, who's the bomb. Linda's the bomb. I don't care. She's awesome. I love hearing her. But she taught this little technique where she's like, you open up your diamonds in your hands. You put you get your thumb and I divide my thumb to the point of the hand. You'll feel it. And then once you find it, just hold your thumb there for like, you'll know. If you feel energy, you'll feel it open up, blossom like a flower a little bit. The energy will open up. And once it opens up, the energy in your hands are flowing more fluidly. Then I start with this hand, go to the next hand, and then I'll go to my neck, shoulders, wherever I need it. And then I'll do my breathing. I always add things to the breathing, because you can do breathing or you can step it up. You can do breathing with, stretching, or, relaxing your body. I'll lay on my acupressure mat or my cranial cradles. So I got little needles, running through my back while I'm breathing. So my back is really opening up. It's about the combined therapy, adding all these little things together to amplify the processes. So you open up even more, Yeah.
One of the things I noticed when we were doing the Branbury breath is that my hands got really activated. I felt, the energy here. And of course I do Reiki, so my hands are all often or easily very activated, but they were extremely activated after doing that breath. And also, Lana, just a note about pain in the body. One of the things that I work with when I work with people is noting how to direct your breath into where the pain is. And it's almost like if you put your hand where you're feeling that pain, wherever it might be, and then try to send your breath and push your hand away with your breath, you expand that area and fill it up, and it gives it an opportunity to release whatever is held there. And in my experience, as a healer, I've found pockets in people's bodies like that, where they're holding pain, where they're holding childhood trauma memories, right? Where they're holding past life, soul shard energy. There's all kinds of things that can be held in the body, right? When we're like, oh, I can't handle that, I'm going to shove it down there, right? Into the internal organs, right? Into where a previous injury was because of trauma, right? And it seems to me that when there's pain, there's always multiple reasons for the pain being there. It's usually not just one reason.
Yeah, thanks, Tanya. I was going to share the same thing with you guys, because I find that when if there's pain somewhere, any part of my body, if I do the breathing exercise and I concentrate on the spot where that pain seemed to appear, then I will send the energy there from my breathing, and then eventually that will clear itself out and that will disappear, and then the healing will be the result. So yeah, I agree with you, Tanya, on that.
Well, there's one, I think Andrew mentioned too one time about the breathing in combination with the sunlight, like with your eyes closed and just trying to see the light of the sun between your third eye. And then in the book from Tasha, they have that something similar, the same thing. It's like you can imagine what is the pain in the body, and then bring that energy through the breath, and then breathing and taking all the way to the spot that you need to bring that in combination with the sunlight that coming through your third eye. And for me, I practice a different kind. However, lately I have noticed when I go to really relaxing through breathing, I fall asleep. And now the best way I can do is when I do it on the walking. There's some people that practice like a walking breathing exercise. For me, it's work a little more precisely, because when I sit down in whatever, and then I start breathing, and then I fall asleep right away. It's like I go into this like maybe R5 state, and then it doesn't allow me to do enough breathing. I fall asleep right away. Then walking is helping me a little better to able to do that.
So I have a question that is a little off the topic here for you, Tanya, since you do energy healing with your hands and stuff like that. So when we were kids, we used to fool around with each other as kids, and we would take our index finger, and we would point it. Harmenia is reminding me of this right now. Point it at the center where the third eye of a person is, or a friend's, forehead. And when you do that, the friend would start to feel the result of like a pain right in the center there. Can you share any experience or knowledge you have as to why a person would feel such strong pain right in the center of their forehead?
I mean, I think it depends upon, I think it depends upon the intention of the finger pointer. We all have the capability to send extraordinary amounts of energy out of our fingertips, out of our hands, right? These are all little portals that send energy, and it's electromagnetic. It can be electromagnetic energy, right? And you can be channeling it from source, like Martina was talking about earlier, right? Or you can be channeling it from your core center, right? But what is the intention? Is the intention to hurt someone, right? Or was the intention to to calm? Because I've seen both things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when Harmenia was talking and she pointed her finger to her forehead, I felt the pain. And that's what reminded me of the of fooling around when we were kids.
It transported you to that time, Lana.
Yes, I teleported back to being a child.
But definitely, I agree with that. Tanya said that the intention is the one that makes the difference. Because remembering the intention have the energy.
The question is, Harmenia, what was your intention here just now?
Oh no, I was just trying.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, maybe just for some reason it was like a more precise for some, like a kind of automatic. Because sometimes when the sun coming out in the morning, I get outside the front door, and then I close my eyes and receive the energy of the sun through here. No, it was like an automatic response from my physical body, I guess. It was no intention.
I felt it through the Zoom.
Oh my God, Lana, don't make me
You're very powerful, Harmenia.
Don't make me feel
I wonder, Lana, if you're experiencing some resistance within your third eye chakra, why you might be experiencing pain. Resistance to opening up to your full vision.
Well, when she did that, it's the memory came back as I felt like she was pointing to her forehead, and I felt like, I'm pointing or someone else is pointing at my forehead, and I felt that sensation, but it was just a brief moment. It's only in the moment, and the memories of childhood came back about us fooling around as children in school and stuff like that,
So I've got talking about children, and so I've got a question for Alfredo. You've got two sons, right? Do you do your breath work together with them? Do you play with them breathing?
Not quite. I'll kind of do it around them, because I thought about it. I was like, I could just do it around them, because I notice a lot of the things I do, they replicate it. So they pick it up in their information, and they're doing the same stuff I do. So
yeah, do you find that they pick it up and do it with you?
Yeah, Elroy will sometimes he'll do it, like sometimes, not too often, but yeah, it's definitely something I think about. Like I could practice it with them. It's in the, what is it? It's on the radar.
On the radar.
But yeah, I definitely.
Because they're quite active children.
Oh yeah.
You see,
hyperactive.
Quite a bit, when you do actually practice. And, talking about what is my purpose, what is my responsibility, there's the breath work that you do with yourself. Now, you've been blessed with two hyperactive children. What if you could practice with them, see what kind of results you're going to get, and then could even start a group for the little ones, to start breathing with you, because you are that kind, fun dad, that, wouldn't come across as, I'm the big, authority figure or something. You could just get those little schnooks together and actually have some fun with them, but, impart some breath wisdom.
Yeah, I've been contemplating these ideas, because like I want to do it in a group setting with people around me, probably in Georgetown eventually, just gathering groups together, just hang out, breathe, just simple things, But yeah, that's a possibility too. Breathing for the kiddos. I'm still venturing into this avenue idea, but like I like it, It's a good foundation to add to kids, because their kids, the way things are set up in society, it's kind of, it'll be good for them.
And also they won't have barriers, they don't come up with any logical, this is crap or not. As long as you make it fun with them, they're going to love it, you know, and then you could develop it from there, you know. But I'm always thinking, you know, whatever we have created in our lives, be this now hyperactive children or more space or this or that, there's a reason for that, you know, and it's best to just take advantage of it, you know, and see where it's going to lead you.
When my sister's
Yeah.
youngest son was young, he had a very hot temper. He was very reactive, and he would get to a state where he wouldn't be able to respond or listen to anything because he was just in his own emotions. And she started doing some breath work coaching with him, and then she would say, okay, go do your practice, stand in the corner and do your practice. And that would calm him down. Right. And now he's a very high functioning college student. So, you know, what she did, creating that foundation for him, was very helpful to his, you know, his whole like junior high school and high school career.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Nice.
I think that, Alfredo, that's wonderful that you kind of developing this and bring more awareness to our surrounded and people close to us. Because from my point of view, breathing is the more essential assets that we have in this experience. Because like I mentioned before, we come in with a breath and we're living with a breath. And like they said, if we have our blood is oxygenated, it's really hard for a body to be sick when there's oxygen in the blood. And I think we are not aware of the power that we have, because we don't have to pay and we don't have to ask for permission to get it. It's just right there. We don't pay the attention of the value that it has.
We take it for granted, and I think that's a great reminder, you know, because what else are we actually taking for granted? You know, we take breath for granted. I mean, I certainly do. You know, I've only started to, you know, paying attention to my breath when I taught yoga. You know? And also, I mean, for me, I do like the breath with the mantra, you know, the faster for me, the better, because that allows me to cut out any thought patterns and things like that. So I like the, you know, the repetitions and really make the use of all the breath and getting that navel back towards the spine and that kind of thing. And I can do that whilst I'm driving, you know, but I'm not recommending it, obviously, but you know, it's like, because for me, but this is why you have to know who you are and when you do what kind of breath, because for me, it actually brings me into my body, because I spent so much time outside of it. That's why when I, you know, engage in the breath and I use the mantra, and I might even use the mudra at the same time, that allows me to come into the body, to become more present. And that's what it's really all about. What kind of breath makes you more present? Because prana is the life force. How much life force have we got in our the breath is almost like, I almost liken it, it's like the soul incarnate, right? In a way. And the more breath you are aware of and present with, the more soul you allow to bring in a way.
And because it's automatic, we don't pay attention, because we're breathing automatic, we don't pay attention to be breathing conscious. I do it myself when I feel tired, or if I feel a pain, I'm kind of like conscious, or if I'm in the traffic, I breathe and breathe and breathe to calm down myself. But it's just in those moments when I pay attention. It's not like, because it's something automatic, we don't have it so present in our conscious present moment.
When I used to smoke, it was interesting, because, you know, what do smokers do? They breathe in and breathe out. and that calms them down. They think it's the nicotine, but it's got nothing to do with the nicotine. It's actually the breath work.
The breathing.
Running out of the office, get to that place because I didn't want to stand outside the door and smoke. Get into this coffee, have a smoke. And I got so stressed out just by doing that, like, instead of just breathing in, breathing out without the nicotine, right?
Yeah.
I hear you there, Martina. I quit smoking 5 years ago now, and I asked myself, why am I doing this? Why do I need to do this? And it was one, to take a break, right? It forced me to like get outside and take a break. And so I started just like walking around the block and breathing, right? Taking that, 5 or 10 minutes to walk around the block and breathe, right? And it brought me into a whole nother awareness of the breath, right? And how that was the mindfulness about it, and how it was, connecting me more to just the life force all around me.
It's like, like any addiction, is actually the invitation to take a break, a false invitation, but still an invitation. Not the best choice, let's call it like that, to take a break of not being you. That's what an addiction is really all about.
Yeah, but this is so powerful, because that's, now that you mentioned you and Tanya, I remember Hoffman is the last name. I can't remember his last name perfectly. Hoffman, something like that. The guy that is in the frozen water in the ocean, that they kept it, a scientific and everything experiment. He was inside the frozen, and he was able, I don't know how long it was, but it was, they brought a scientific and doctors and everything to experiment, and then to validate what he was saying, that he was able to do it. And from that, he developed these powerful breathing techniques. And he was just in frozen water, I don't know for how long, just with the breathing, keeping warm his body just with the breathing. That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, good old Wim Hof.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, no, hell yeah, he's the man. Cold plunges, yeah, they amplify the breath. But I always think, like, because I've been dealing with my own stuff, like, for the longest time, it was anger issues that are, hooked on all sorts of stuff, but just replacing those with breathing, essentially, because, I don't smoke anymore. I had a little period where I was smoking again for a little bit, and then I realized I was screwing on my lungs. I was like, man, it's decreasing my lung capacity, so I quit smoking again. But for the most part, I hadn't been smoking for over a decade, just because I wanted to preserve this rich breath, because when everything's going to shit around me, it's just like, you can go drink, go smoke, or do these things. Like, I just want to go breathe. I want to go breathe. Everything's going to shit. I just want to go breathe. That's where I can connect with myself, let go of this stuff. And I know this, like, when I get these negative patterns, negative thoughts are hitting me right core, I continue to keep breathing, stick to the breath and the rhythm. The thoughts will fade, and then positive, like, thoughts start coming in. I'm feeling better. My body's feeling better. Therefore, like, my vibration is raised. My thoughts become more positive. And I start thinking positive thoughts that are empowering, that make me feel good, make me laugh.
Alfredo, Alfredo.
Try to move, darling, or turn your thing maybe off, because it's you're breaking up again.
Oh, and we lost him. Alfredo out. He must have lost his signal. He'll come in.
Yeah.
Again in a second. Yeah.
Here he is. Let's just see if it's a bit better now. Yeah, let's try this again, babes. Maybe it's better now.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I'll just sum up what I said real quick, but it's just like, so when everything's going to shit, you always got the breath. Just go back to the breath. Like, whenever everything's going to shit, just go back to breathing, because I'll get caught up in bad habit patterns or thoughts, And the more I connect with the rhythmic breath, the more my body starts to feel better. And then before you know it, my thoughts start changing to more positive, happy, beneficial thoughts, and thoughts that make me laugh, that make me feel better. So breathing is empowering in the point that it can change your thought process. You're feeling like shit, your negative thoughts, you can release those with breathing. And before you know it, your body's feeling better. So your thoughts will change to more positive, better thoughts. You feel better. So, and yeah, so that's it.
I like that. And we could even take it further and actually, with this mindfulness, every breath that we take, maybe we don't need to wait until everything goes to shit, and just start breathing much more consciously. Breathing in, and I like to have doesn't have to be a visualization, but like breathing in the life force, connecting to the source, or to the God source or spirit, whatever you guys want to call it, and then actually breathe out and connect to everything around you, to all the consciousness around you, animals, humans, flowers, that kind of thing. And really breathe from the perspective of, with the intention of staying source connected. Because for me, it's because of my, I'm a bit of a mental freak, so I always like to have some, logic behind what I'm doing, or give it a meaning or something, and because we're continuously source disconnecting. And it's whatever kind of breath, and then I do like the retention bit, because for me I look at it from a cross perspective. You breathe in, that's the vertical one. You retain the breath, you get in that space of shunya, in that quiet space where there's this void. For me, that's the void space where there's emptiness and there's everything available there. And you stay there through your retention, and you exhale. Because again, I think also breathing for me reminds me of being the link between the above and the below. Being the, what do we call it? We are the channel for bringing the life force in, right? Or connecting to spirit, bringing the spirit in through the breath, through being alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Alfredo, have you done any particular weekends other than Wim Hof where you got together with people and you breathe together with people?
I have not, and I've been kind of contemplating this stuff in my head, just these ideas, but at the same time, I realize my 3D life has been kind of not in shambles, but it's like always just chaos and all this stuff going on. It's like I need to get this stuff in order. So I'm just prioritizing, like after this, I'll, get things more in order, more in line, and realize what I can do, because like David said, I'm trying to do everything and be everything. It's like I can't be putting too much stuff on my plate. It's just got to simplify it. What can I do? So it's just, I'm on the process of recovery now. I'm going to do my rest to recover. And then eventually, like on my off days, I want to have like a day where I get together with people and just, sit down and breathe. Real simple.
Yeah.
Nothing too complicated, take donations or whatever. Just something where I can interact with the community. I don't know. I want to give and receive. I don't know. I got to put myself out there,
Alfredo, I think Alfredo, a simple way that you can do that without waiting to be ready, because I'm in the same position too. And I put in my website together. Any case, but in your case, I said breathing is so essential, so simple. You can even offer to one, if you know a teacher in the school, you can offer to the kids to teach them 10-minute breathing technique, or nursing home. That's all. Those are places that are already open to receive, like, interacting with those client or patients, and nursing home and in the school too, that you can say, well, we had Alfredo, it might mean your kids are in the school, and you can offer to the teacher, I can come in and teach the kids for 10 minutes about breathing, and they will be open for that, because I know many people do that. And it's a very easy way. You don't have to be ready for nothing. Just bring yourself and your heart and your knowing. And that's what put you in the path, get out of your own way, waiting for be ready. That's my point of view, of course.
I
don't.
think
Yeah.
now there's a certification that you can get, a mindfulness certification that you can get, and a number of like community colleges and universities are offering this mindfulness certification, which also I think gives you, I don't know, like a certification to teach mindfulness and breath work to it within the school.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the party pooper here, but because I'm just doing the breathwork instructor course, and I would just caution, because this is also something that the teacher himself is also cautioning. You have to be really cautious of your public. So senior citizens, you really, really have to be cautious with what breath you are doing. So there should nothing be strenuous, no breath holds, no nothing, because of all the problems with the heart. Kids, it depends on the age, because you should not, kids, like you were just saying, you have hyperactive kids, and also my godchildren, who I also tried to sit down with and breathe with, you cannot have them. I mean, for them, a minute is already an hour, you see. So it has also to be very, very smooth in a sense, but yet engaging enough. And it should not, you should actually ideally not do the hyperventilation breathing and the too much oxygen. It's more like just sit down, let's breathe, and that maybe build in a story of about somebody who's going to sleep or something like that. But just to be very careful and then mindful in a sense of the public that you have. And as I said, I will find the link to Michael, to the Yoga Lab website. His course, you actually can do it, and I think it's even a pay as you will kind of thing, and you will receive a certificate afterwards. But okay.
Thanks, Sandrine.
Nice. Yeah. Definitely considered.
Yes, you have to know whom you are interacting with, and you have to know your public, the person that you are interacting and asking for that too. And of course, you'll be like as Sandrine said, over a caution, because not everybody is ready for the same thing. Just interacting with people and bringing a little awareness. It's not like going to make them to change their life in 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I would think with the kids, you want to do breath work that helps them calm down and be in their body and be present, rather than getting them all jacked up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live right across the street from a school, and now, like today, they opened the gate at 6:30. I can hear my bedroom window faces that way. And then about 7 o'clock, the kids start coming into the schoolyard and playing. So they're already jacked up enough. I can hear, the battle cries on the little soccer field that they're playing, so they need to be brought right into that state of focus, right? Rather than getting more jacked up.
Yeah.
This is probably good for that sort of clientele. It's probably good to add the mudra that makes it fun for them as well. Plus the mantra,
Exactly.
to actually, for this just like what I said early on, for me, it's not, you don't overload these kids. You actually bring them right in when you do, and bring all the mudras and all that sort of stuff in. But anyway, there's, you've been doing this for long enough, and also you've got your own children, so you can experiment on them. That's what
Yeah.
children are for. To
I'm a
expect.
child of a hairdresser. I know how it hurts, okay?
Oh God, I've been experimented on enough. So, you know, there's value in that to a certain extent.
That breath made them run around. That breath put them to
But
sleep.
well, I'm very happy to laugh because actually yesterday we received a very sad news of one of our colleagues having a heart attack at the office and dying. Unfortunately, they could not bring him back. And because of the fact that some people were starting to comment, it's actually also already a second of our colleagues this year that died of a heart attack just before his retirement.
Oh.
And we are all in shock. But in a sense, I said this morning, maybe, you know, doing my breath instructor courses, like the first thing that I probably will do in January is that I'm going to just say, okay, Tuesday afternoons at 2 o'clock, I will sit in front of the Teams because we are using Teams, and I will do 10 minutes of breathing with you guys. Just, you know, just so that we are come back into ourselves and just take this moment to breathe, and then we see where it goes from there, because this is like, you know, and it's funny that we're talking about breathing today, because they said yesterday that they were trying to actually revive him at the office, but because he was still breathing, many people, because the medics were not yet, had not arrived at the moment, they did not want to start doing the heart massage because, you know, because he was still breathing, but he was breathing badly, but he was still breathing. So now everybody is like all worked up about this, and yeah, but okay, it was meant to be. It was meant to be, but it's very sad. But for me, it was like the kick, like, okay, because I had no intention of actually going on the internet and doing, you know, the breath work, yoga sessions or whatever, what have you not. But here it's like, I think, okay, maybe this is what I should just put out there, and I sit in front of the Teams and say, I'm in here, please join or not join, and that's it. If nobody joins, I will just be 10 minutes breathing for myself, but that's okay.
It's fantastic. Let us know how you get on with that, because, you know, I can't remember now. Was it in Hawaii? The Hawaiian breath? What's it called? I can't remember.
No.
Ha something. The ha breath.
The ha breath.
Ha breath. Yeah. God, I can't remember now. That was years ago when I looked into this. But what they were saying is, before the tribes got together for meetings, they sat together for an hour or longer and just breathe together. And
to get on the same frequencies.
And after that time, there was hardly any words that needed to be exchanged. Everything was already sorted out. So I think when you have the opportunity, same, Jennifer, same, you know, when you get your, you know, all your engineers together, do a bit of breath work, and there's not so much grammar that is required after that.
It's just like release and let it go. Release and let it go.
So now that we've done several shows on, I think not several, but a couple of shows on breathing already over the years, we've never done any on laughing. Why don't we do a show on laughing? How laughing heals.
We laugh a lot on every show, right?
Yeah, we're already doing that.
Good, but no, absolutely. That's another thing, you know.
That's very cool, Tana. That's very cool. I pushed myself in that position to laugh. Yesterday and the day before, I had 2 dog challenge day, and today I put on a comedy show, and I was laughing myself like I was crying from laugh. I said, okay, I get over with this today already now. Because every time I feel down, I look for something to make me laugh. I know that's a natural healing.
I remember over the Thanksgiving, when we were with our gathering, my mother-in-law said something, that we were playing a game, and within the game you have to figure out what you're given clues, and then you have, it's almost like charade in a sense, but it's a different game. And she was trying to give an answer, and she said something that was so irrelevant and funny that I started laughing so hard that my stomach started to hurt. And I said to myself, I don't remember the last time I laughed so hard like this. But whatever she said tickled me so much. It was something so simple and silly all at the same time that I really had a belly full laugh that day. And I wish I could have done regularly laughs like that, you know?
Yeah.
We all need it.
There's a
That's
big-
why we have cat videos.
or dogs eating.
Or dogs.
Yes, we have a very amusing dog here today.
Yeah.
But isn't the laughter connected to the breath?
Yes, it is. It's because of the parasympathetic, so the parasympathetic nervous system. So when you laugh, you tell yourself that, or even just smiling while you breathe out. You don't have to laugh in a sense. You just have to bring a smile to your face and breathe out, and that already it's connected immediately to the vagus nerve.
Absolutely. And then when you laugh, when you really laugh, like Ilana, you saying your belly laughter, you're like, you have to take a big breath.
Yeah.
So it is purely the connection with the breath, really.
Yes,
with
I
the breath.
remember that I was trying to breathe at the same time because I was laughing so hard and I couldn't breathe. It was an enjoyable laugh though.
But do you also find, not to go off piste here, but that there are some people, they don't even have to say anything and you can laugh?
Mhm. Because they have like a smile.
People that there's just nothing. They can tell you 5,000 jokes and it's like, for God's sake, shut up. And then there's somebody who's like, I mean, my daughter is like, she just needs to say the most normal thing and I am this kind of laugh, you know.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it's so seldom that you get people like that where you can so really laugh.
Yeah.
When you hear my dad laugh, everybody around starts laughing. It's not because his laugh is so hilarious. It's just that because it's so inviting with you to laugh with, with him in a sense.
Inviting.
Must be the signature frequency.
Automatic is it automatic invitation to join? Automatic invitation to join the laugh.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It's
Invitation to feel
contagious.
good. Exactly.
My
But yeah,
husband said to me yesterday, what was so funny in the middle of the night? You woke me up laughing. I can't remember. I don't know. But whatever it was, it must have been hysterical.
That's cool.
That's
I like to
cool.
watch the YouTube videos where people would go in a train or a bus and somebody would deliberately start laughing and then people would be looking at the person in this weird way, but then they can't help laughing also. Just watching this person laugh and then they'll all start laughing, burst out laughing. And then I, watching the video, would also burst out laughing because it's so hilarious just to watch everybody do this.
Yeah. I have seen some of those too. Well, you know that they say the laughing, the smile is automatically connected with your magnificence. That's why it's so that because we are all intertwined, right? That's why we cannot resist to do it automatically without even thinking about it.
I mean, I watched a long time ago, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I believe that he's from Australia, and he was a fairly wealthy individual from his business that he did, I believe, and he went to the doctor one day for a checkup, and the doctor told him that he's got like a few weeks to live, and he said when the doctor told him that, he just started laughing, and he got home and he was still laughing hysterically, and his wife said, "What's the problem? Why are you laughing?" And he told his wife that he's only got a few weeks to live, but he continued laughing because something about what the doctor said tickled his funny bone, and he just continued laughing, and the next time he went back to the doctor, which was past the time that he was supposed to live, he went back and the doctor checked him up and the ailment disappeared. He had no problems anymore, and he continued to live on for many years. And then he quit his job and started going around the country lecturing on the healing method of laughter. So whatever he was doing before just was irrelevant now to the teachings he was providing for the community, which I found quite interesting, that, you know, he gave up everything he was doing just to teach people how to laugh, or to laugh more.
He found his path.
Well, that's listening to synchronicities, right? Listening to what's happening in one's life, and then using it as a gift and making something out of it. You know, it's like, you know, Alfredo, you having 2 hyperactive children. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to, you know, this is such a gift. I know it's probably not always the way for you to look at that, but how, you know, how have you chosen that? And what are you going to create with it, with them?
Yes.
Yeah, I always try to have more fun with them, you know, because I know they're always up to some shenanigans, laughing about all sorts of stuff. And just like, to me, it's just like, oh, y'all doing that again? What the heck? Like little trolls, and just like clowning on me, trolling me. And it's like, yeah, y'all think that's real funny, huh? But I know a lot of times, like, I realize I'm just so serious, you know. I'm like, it's so ridiculous. I'm spiritual. I'm you know, healing myself, doing all these healing things. And then like everybody else around me is not into spirituality. They don't give a crap about a lot of stuff they eat or whatever, but they're always joking around, laughing. They take their job way less seriously than I do. I'm just like, man, it's just like the total opposite. I should just be more like my coworkers. They just don't take their job too seriously, you know. And I'm just like, gotta get this stuff good, you know, just way too serious. And so like, I realized I gotta let myself laugh more. Even like, I went to the Lucia light again. I did a 3rd and 4th session, and I was just, you know, this time I was like, you know, it's not about the visions anymore. Because I'm just like, I gotta have the visions, you know, show me the galactic booby shot. I want to see stuff, you know. But just like, you know, I'm just going and relax, and I go into the Lucia light, relax, and I don't know, just seeing these colors, just start laughing. I'm just like, hey, laughing. I don't even know why it's funny. It just made me laugh. I was like, but I was holding it back. I was like, man, what vision that I can't even let myself laugh. He's like, just let yourself laugh, man. It's okay, you know. It's just colors and shapes. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's funny, you know. Even on my mushroom trip I did yesterday, the mushrooms are making me laugh. I was just like staring in the sun, and just like, I don't know, there was like just some voices and the Irish accent, this and that, and saying all this stupid stuff. It was just the funniest thing ever. I was like, man, you guys are ridiculous. Y'all are making me. But I gotta learn to laugh more, you know, because, you know, this life isn't supposed to be so serious. It should be more fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I should embrace more of the fun that my kids have. And I try to laugh more at the tragedies happen on. It helps me transmute the energies a lot more when I just laugh at the ridiculous stuff going on. Because otherwise, I get stressed and I carry it within me. It's like, oh, you guys are driving me nuts, frustrating me, stressing me out. You know. Go ahead, Martina.
You have amazing kids. You know, Alfredo left me a voice message the other day, and he was driving or, you know, in the car, and one of the kids was licking the mirror, you know, and laughing his ass off. I laughed so much, you know. He's like, oh, why are you licking the mirror? Licking the mirror, that is so funny, you know. You should lick it too, man. It was an invitation. I could really see his getting all stressed out because the boy's licking the mirror and having such fun with it, trying actually to get that to relax. It's a bit like, I was thinking, it's a bit like the cat bringing in the mouse, being all like, come on, I've got the mouse here. He's trying to relax you by making you laugh, right? By licking the mirror. I was like, no, don't do that, man. But he was cracking up, the boy. That was for me. Thank you. Tell him thank you so much. I can't stop. Every time I look at my mirror and I'm thinking, I think I must take a little. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the secret to unlocking the portal, right? We're not looking at it.
You know, it's because we take life so serious, and sometimes I catch myself in that position. I have my face all like hurt because I find to be so serious. I laugh myself. And you know, Alfredo, when you were talking about, I remember one of the scene in Harry Potter that he was afraid. Was him or was wrong? I don't remember one of them. That, and then the teacher was teaching them some was a mantra or it was no, I can't remember the word. How was? Anyway, it was like I said, ridiculous, 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 because he was afraid of the. One was afraid of the spider, another one for the snake. And then they what they had to say is ridiculous, ridiculous, and then laugh, and then that's why there was a release. Be afraid or whatever it was. It's kind of interesting because the laughing is the door. Is the door to us to let it go, really. And I'm spinning on myself. You know, I don't say because I hear it. I say it because I am spinning on myself. As soon as I laugh, it just doesn't matter what's happening. I don't care anymore.
So I have one memory of
Exactly.
when I was like a teenager, and I have this cousin who is maybe about 6, 7 years younger than me. And one day he was at our house, and then he was leaving, and then he did something that was kind of dangerous. He could have hurt himself, but what he did made me laugh so much. The effect of what happened, not what he did, but the effect of what happened to him made me laugh so much that that laughter transcended in my memory for years and years and years. Every time I thought about it, I would still have the same giggles. Not as intense as the original one, but it just stayed with me for years and years, and I would still find it so funny. Only of recent years, when I think about it, that funniness does not come back as intense like it used to be. It's kind of fading away. But I remember whenever I thought about that memory, I would still laugh hilariously about it. I was wondering if anybody had that same kind of at least one memory of something that tickled you so much that you couldn't get rid of.
Definitely. It's like I sometimes I remember that from the Harry Potter movie, that is what the spell that the professor was teaching to them was ridiculous. Every time they were afraid something ridiculous, ridiculous. And then I when I feel so worried about something, if I catch myself and I can remember that I start saying that ridiculous, 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 and then until I laugh, and then that get me out of that song or worry.
Well, the therapies, laughter therapies, you know, but I think it's a good link we've made here, because it's really connected with the breath, what we actually talked about today, isn't it? It's really, because, and it's almost, it's not well, it goes beyond the making it conscious, the breathing, you know. And I think at some stage, you know, we got to get to that stage where we actually don't have to consciously breathe anymore, because we're doing it so unconsciously, but at the same time with full presence.
Yes.
Isn't that what enlightenment is all about? Is just being present with stuff that we're doing unconsciously. Sorry, Sandrine.
No, it's no, it's a valid argument, and I actually feel that since the year and a half that I'm exploring my breath and working with it, that okay, actually scientifically, we are breathing 20,000 times a day, so more or less, you know, and this is linked to your heart because you're pumping, you know, your this is how your heart functions as well, because you're breathing so that you can oxygenate your blood, and then it's being pumped all over the place, right? So it's all, these two systems are linked together. And I have to say that my breathing became I became much more conscious of my breathing in situations where I also noted, okay, when I'm completely overwhelmed with work and totally stressed, okay, I forget to breathe as well. I mean, I'm still human, right? But then I actually noticed at one stage that now I'm taking a deep breath, and then I'm like, and I'm doing that more because I'm conscious of it, because I know already that I'm completely tensed up, and then just letting it go. And it is at these moments when you find yourself tensing up that as soon as you notice it, try to let go again and take a breath and then let go of it. So this is also helping with the relevance realization, what you're coming up with, the enlightenment, because when you're completely stressed, then you actually don't really notice where the relevance is, or what is more relevant, so take a breath, calm down, and then, okay, so what is it actually, and then you can go through with it.
Yeah, I think we need to, at some stage next year, have another chat about being grounded and being present, because that groundedness, and I've never really liked the way we talk about grounding, because it's too limited. That being present is, for me, I'm almost starting to look at presence. Being fully present is, I'm connecting it to being fully love, being the fabric of existence, being fully aware, being fully present. And, we all know that, or at least that's what they say, we're maybe 10% that we are present in this body, So what is actually true presence? And how does that link to our breath? And how does that link to our thoughts, of course, that as well, but how does that link to our vehicle, to our body, that being completely present, that presence that goes beyond the five senses, well beyond the five senses, because and breath, I mean, consciously breathing it's just the beginning of tapping into that nature, that true nature of us,
maybe in January I will have finished with the course from Matthias De Stefano there on the universe within, and because he's going actually through the points in your body and then connecting everything together. It's very, very dense what he's presenting, and you really have to listen to what he's saying, but everything what he's saying makes like
completely sense.
But you need to listen very carefully, and because I fear that some people, and I have noticed that when I talk about some of his concept to my philosophy group, because he's actually saying the same thing that like Tim Freke is saying. He's just using other words to say it, or like what we are saying here, we're just using another language to actually move to the same thing. And it's very interesting to actually see also how that we are all moving in. We are trying to bring as many of the mainstream into that channeling of the, I'm not want to say the goodness of it all, but the oneness, to coming back to the oneness, and they are all using the same goal, but then they are all using different languages to actually get there, right? And then you can see how people are actually breaking up, like, oh no, you're talking only about ninth dimension. That is, what are you talking about? It's like, well, just listen, listen to it, because maybe it makes sense. And listening to Matthias on he's using the image of the I am. So the I is one, and the M is another, the zero and the one, and only breaking this up makes the energy work, and then coming with the different geometrical structures around it. And he's talking about the energy, matter, and life, energy, matter, and the other one is love, wisdom, and will.
Love, wisdom, and will. Yeah.
So it's and every morning I'm reading part of your book. I'm like, okay, it's okay, more synchronicity that I have right now in front of me, I cannot have, you see. It's all going into that direction.
Fantastic. Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool. Bring it all together. And I like that because you're bringing all these different signature frequencies together, you know, and then choosing and distilling out what works for you and making it into your words. And that's right.
Exactly. I'm gonna pull it back into the breath.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. Now you're
And we
frozen.
lost him.
On with, but it's like
Oh, there you go.
I pick up bits and pieces from a little bit of everybody, and I culminate it to my way, because you know my breath. You know, I've learned what I can from other people, but like I always make it my own. You know, because sometimes I don't want to breathe that way. I don't want to do all these prayers and revocations. I just want to do my prayer, my breath, the way I do things, the things that invigorate me, that make me feel good. So when it comes to breathing, I just say, breathe the way you want to breathe the way that brings you peace and connectivity, whatever way that is. So to me, it's just like, breathe the way that you want to breathe, that brings harmony with yourself. Do the things that make you feel good within. And yeah, I'm channeling it into, I want to go to do a breathing. Well, I want to do 2 rounds. I was going to do 2 rounds of 5 minutes, but I'm going to shorten it to like 4 minutes so we can, you know, bring this in, because, you know, I was thinking about how I'm going to do this because we're going to do a breathing meditation. And I was like, no, ideally I'd like to record it and do all this fancy music and this and that, but I'm just going to do it in the spot, on the flow, in action. So I'll go into the whole process and just kind of distill it down to the teaching. So the Soma breath teaching, it's about, you know, relaxing, getting a efficient breath. So in this breathing process, you can be breathing in through the roots. You breathe in, to me, you know, you imagine your nostrils are at your root. So you're breathing into that root area, and you breathe in, and it's going to build up, and then you release, build down. So breathing into the root, out. Breathe steady. Breathe, you know, breathe at your own pace. I'm going to go at my pace. I'm going to do, I'll do 4 minutes. 4 minutes of rhythmic breath on a metronome. And then after the 4 minutes pass, you're going to release. Take a last breath in, release, and then just go as long as you can. That's the breath retention. That's where, after you've been doing 5 minutes, 5 minutes is my sweet spot, but I'll do 4 minutes because I'm trying to condense it down. But after you do 5 minutes of rhythmic breathing, you release, your body's in harmony. So in that release moment, that's when you just embrace the meditative moment, embrace the silence, the mix, whatever you're doing. Or maybe it's music, or you're listening to your meditations or recordings or whatever. You just embrace that meditative magical moment. Those are my magical moments, that always just, everything's just quiet. It's quiet. Niraj calls it the pause on life. But to me, it's just this magical, quiet space where I'm just so clean, clear, pure, connected within. And I like to have my hand on my heart when I'm doing this process, because I'd like to make advanced heart meditations all the time, but you know, I don't have that window anymore. So I just, you know, hand on the heart, just open that portal up, you know. So we'll do, you know, like I said, 4 minutes of breathing, rhythmic breathing. Do your last breathe in, breathe out, release. And then you go as long as you can. And then you can also do a little sip into the mouth. And you quickly release. The whole purpose of that little sip is to keep the intermittent hypoxia going, that breath retention. So you can stay in that meditative moment as long as you can. And after you take a little sip in and breathe, go as long as you can again. And then when you can't hold it, you can't go any further, that's when you breathe in through the root. And then squeeze your root chakra. Squeeze that area. Pull up that muscle and just let the energy build up from the bottom of the spine all the way to the top. And you can even do it in Wim Hof style if you want to, where you breathe at the, you know, you squeeze at the root for a few seconds, squeeze at the heart or the chest, and then squeeze at the head. You can do that if you want. You know, honestly, I just say do whatever's comfortable to you. Don't even try to fit into my practice or what I'm trying to do. I'm just giving an example of how I do it, because I'm not too sure what I'm going to do in the moment. Sometimes I'll squeeze. Sometimes I won't. It's just what's appropriate in the moment. And I listen to my body more than anything nowadays. It used to be like, I got to create the DMT experience. I need to get my super breath retention. It's not about that anymore. It's about harmonizing with the body, listening to the body, being one with the body. So yeah, y'all ready to join me on a breathing journey? I'm gonna do, so just a heads up, I got a tuning fork with me, and then I might bust out in light language too, because this process is always like very connective. It's very sacred for me. It's the most sacred practice there is. So it just gets me really connected. And sometimes I'll be breathing. Sometimes I just gotta just gotta just let it out, you know. Or maybe I'll be breathing intensely, and then I have a prayer I gotta say to myself, and I'll be crying on the way to work, you know, just because I needed to release something that was pressuring me or making me my goals or whatever I'm trying to do, you know. Anyways, let's do this. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. To me, it's making music with the universe, you know. It's, you know, band making music is great. You know, I kind of transferred it into breathing, you know. We're connecting on the quantum realm basis when we're rhythmically breathing together, you know. It's just, I don't know, it's magical. But anyways, hopefully, you know, spirits of the land, ancestors, hopefully they can hold this sacred space so I don't get disconnected or there's some choppiness or whatever. But yeah, is everybody ready? We'll end on a breathing. So I'll leave y'all with a nice breathing high before y'all go into y'all's day. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Hopefully, hopefully I hope y'all can hear this. I'll start with 60 first. Can everybody hear the metronome?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a 4-minute timer. You're gonna hear a beep. When the beep goes, we start. Just concentrate on the rhythm. It's not about the deep inhales or the exhales. You just concentrate on the rhythm. Follow the rhythm. In for 4, out for 4. And I might lose place. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do the best I can to be in this rhythm and say what I needed to say. Sometimes I'll say a few words, or maybe I'll just stay in the rhythm breath. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta put it in action. It's enough of this entertainment of thoughts, you know. Action. Bring it into action, you know. Embody it. Shaka wa idaba asha na ikaba do karawa asha di karabaya. Esamana isha utabaya. All right, let's do this. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. As you go deeper into the breathing, you let your body relax at its highest potentials. Listen to your body. Feel with your body. Be in rhythm with your body as you breathe. Relax that neck, the shoulders, your head, your jaw. Relax any area of tension you hold within. Feel the rhythm. Coming up on 30 seconds. All right, last breath is coming up. Here we go. Now breathe fully in and release. Ah. She kada ada e tabawa taba ida a chagawa. Isamana ida ba asha e kadabawa. Utabawa kadaba e tabawa shabada. E kabawa. Just enjoy those blissful moments of peace, you know. I kind of got this blissful high for a second, you know. But like I said, you do these things at your own pace and rhythm, you know. It just always brings me so much freaking peace. It's this gift that keeps on giving. You can do it at any moment. It's just a few minutes you set aside for your day to just embrace the breath, you know. It's your own personal way to get high. It's this own personal self-created bliss, euphoria, and joy created from within. Created from the heart, expanding outwards like a lotus. Like each of the I took a wash, but the I T namawa, esabada kadabawa. All right, we're gonna speed it up. We're gonna do one more round. Stick with me here. It's a small investment for a great reward. Think about that way. It's just 4 or 5 minutes of your dedication, your focus to this rhythm of breath. Ashana anama atuka wo chapata. All right, we're gonna speed it up. Let's see what we got here. I want y'all to get that blissful speed. Now we're doing 96 beats per minute. I want y'all, yeah. With the slow states, it creates harmony and relaxation. The faster states, where you get the peak states, that's where you get the intensities. So we're gonna go a little bit more intense this time. Ashada kadaba oshada kanamaya. All right, let's go. Check out wah. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. This is an empowerment process. Empowering yourself from within. Ashada. Let yourself dance if you have to. You're just going with the rhythm of life. We have freedom of expression in this reality. Let's use it to breathe. All right, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Keep on going, y'all. And use this process any moment of the day to enrich and empower your life. "30 seconds. All right, last breath, guy. Let's make it count. Shka'atiwa. Oh, wow. Connect with that heart. Release all that tension. Everything you've picked up through whatever. Just let it all go. This ultimate state of relaxation within the self. To me, this process, it amplifies and fortifies my stance and grounding as the peaceful being that I am. I'm here to create peace. Peace, keep peace, as well as create internal peace within. And appreciate everybody coming here and breathing with me. I was so caught up in like, oh, what am I going to talk about? It's like, honestly, I'm just grateful to be here to chat with y'all, talk with everybody, listen, all that great stuff, you know. At the end of the day, it's like, I just wanted to have fun. That was my base intention for this whole damn thing. Just go out there and have fun, Alfredo. Quit trying to be something, quit trying to be Superman or whatever I try to be. Just go out there, have fun with your friends and companions and community. That's it, you know. Life should be fun. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
thank
Alfredo,
y'all.
for giving us a view into your breathing practice, and also take us through the breath work at the end. I think we're all very relaxed, running all the way through. So there's definitely exchange of you know, energy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much. She loved it. So thank you for showing up, Alfredo. Yes, you don't want to be Superman, but you are Superman. Sorry.
Yeah. Keep
I
a
don't see
smile.
myself that way. That's the funny
Saying
part.
that was fantastic. Thanks very much.
Yes,
Right.
thank you, Alfredo. I felt very relaxed. I kind of fell into a nice, quiet,
Yeah.
peaceful, meditative mode. I was kind of beginning to see things, you know, just flying around in my memory there.
Yeah.
You know, in the moment.
Yeah.
But I was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, this process will bring out, to me, it brings out visions, which I have a hard time getting. I can get visions with breathing, and it brings out all these, it helps me channel in thoughts that are more related to what I'm trying to create. And it's just, I don't know, it's a very connective, sacred practice, and it's just, you know, pay attention, you know, you get some awesome visions or amazing thoughts, write it down. You know, you got to jump out of the breath and write something down. I don't know. I feel like this process will help anybody who's having issues connecting with themselves, or maybe they're overwhelmed with energies or whatever. Or if you want to look into it further, check out Soma Breathing. It's a pretty cool little community. I connect with their meditations every now and then, but for the most part, I like to do my own thing because I like to listen to nature, listen to my own voice. I want to, you know, eventually create my own breathing meditation and connect with the community and do all this other stuff. But you know, thank you for being here for my first trial run. This is my first trial run. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
One of
Thank
the
you so
things
much.
that I noticed about the different speed of breaths is that the slower breath seemed to lead me into a more sort of like grounded state. And then the faster breath, I noticed almost like a clearing energy, almost like an energetic spiraling right around my energy field where things were just dropping away that I didn't need or want in my energy field. So just the difference between the two of those for me was really interesting. So thank you, Alfredo. Thank you.
Earthy is also saying, you took me to a primal place and releasing sounds just came. So well done. Fantastic. Fantastic,
awesome.
Alfred. Thanks very much
Yes.
for being with us today and for leading the group. And I'll be away for the next 2 weeks, and Tanya and Jennifer will keep you hosted. And then we'll take it from there. And I'll check in with you once I get back, and then we see if we want to do something. I think it's the 27th, or if we're just gonna blow over into the new year. But we'll see how that goes. Have a great.
Yeah, I'll be. Thanks. I was just going to say I'll be gone for the next 2 weeks after that. So
You'll be gone after this, so we probably then just leave it after that, you know, and pick it back up next year. Anyway, fantastic. Thanks very much. Mwah. And see you soon. Bye.
Okay,
Thank you.
Have
Bye.
fun,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Have fun.